Then make our way to the rear legroom. That comes in at 34.8 inches, which honestly is a little below average for this segment, I will say that, but for reference, I mean, even 6 feet tall, I was still able to fit back there, so this is how much space I had in the rear seats at least. Rear center armrest with cup holders coming with the SEL trim level and up. You will find rear ventilation for the SEL Plus trim level and up. Rear USB charging ports again for the SEL Plus trim level and up. And those rear seats are plenty comfortable as well, we'll say that too. But now, making our way to the front seats, cloth seating coming with the SE and SEL trims. My favorite seating coming with the SEL Plus, that is going to be a leatherette Dynamica suede combination, with the suede being in the middle portion. That is a super cool setup. Dynamica suede usually being found on higher end vehicles, so I thought that was pretty cool. And of course you have full leather seating if you were to go with this limited trim level that we have today. And having said that, I think the full leather seating might be a little more comfortable than the Dynamica suede combination, because the second I jumped in this one, I was like, dang, these seats are super comfortable compared to what I got. But anyways, manually adjustable front seats coming with the SE. The SEL trim level is going to add an 8-way power driver's seat with power lumbar. Those front seats will be heated as well with the SEL trim level and up. Limited trim then is going to add a 6-way power adjustable passenger seat. In addition to that, ventilated front seats actually as well. And overall, like I said, the seats are super comfy. Really, no matter which trim level that you go with, there's no issues with seat comfort whatsoever. Then take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping, of course. It is leather wrapped. If you were to go with the SEL Plus trim level and up, then that leather wrap steering wheel is going to be optional on the SEL if you wanted it. Heated steering wheel coming with the limited. I've had that on in my short drive today. I absolutely love that. Grips also are going to differ slightly amongst the trim levels, believe it or not. The SEL Plus trim level and down is going to give you slightly thinner grips than the limited trim level that we have today. Maybe that's because it's heated, I don't know, but the grips are going to be, the 10-2 grips I should say, are going to be slightly thicker in the limited trim comparatively speaking to the other trim levels, so I wanted to mention that as well. But so then making our way to this startup, let me first start by showing you guys the key here. You do have your Hyundai logo. Forgive the stickers in front of that though, but there is a Hyundai logo on the one side. When you flip it over, all of your buttons essentially lock, unlock. The button to pop the rear hatch. There is also the circular button that says hold at the very bottom. That is going to be your remote start, which I have on my SEL Plus. Also, it's going to be on the limited. There is a push button start for the SEL trim level and up. There is also then a digital key as well as a key card. So there's several different ways you can go ahead and start this one up. The key card works just like the digital key that you use on your smartphone. Essentially, you hold it up to the door handle. It's going to unlock and lock, by the way. Then you put it on this NFC slot right here in front of the drive buttons, and that is how you're going to be able to start this one up and turn it off, of course, as well. So it's kind of a cool option if you didn't want to carry your keys around maybe, or perhaps you lose your keys in Ocean City, Maryland in the ocean or something. You always have backup, so that's pretty cool too. And the last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the key fob, and perhaps the very coolest feature about this one, I'm sure everybody's seen the commercials, or Smart Pack, essentially those car icons with the P buttons. That is going to be your Smart Park option, where you can pull the car forward or backwards. This is going to be useful if you're parking perhaps and somebody parks a little too close to you and you don't feel like crawling in through the trunk in order to get to the driver's seat. Simply just use this. The car is going to back out itself with nobody in the car, so therefore you can actually get in it a lot easier. So that is a pretty darn cool feature if you ask me. But anyways, and also with that, I wanted to mention to you guys, if there's an object or a person that gets in the way of that Smart Park feature, it actually will turn away from that object or person, and it is going to brake as well. So if you're worried about it actually hitting somebody or something inadvertently, it is not going to do that, and that is a pretty cool feature there as well. But anyways, let's now go ahead and make our way to the gauge. This is pretty freaking cool as well. 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster coming with the limited trim level. That is going to be optional on the SEL and SEL Plus. I have it on my SEL Plus. This is definitely a feature I would highly recommend, because otherwise you get your standard analog gauges, which are fine, but they're not anywhere near as cool as this. And the reason why I like these is because it is completely customizable, not only with the driving modes, completely changing the look from red to blue to whatever, But there are also steering wheel mounted controls found on the right side of the steering wheel, where you can adjust not only what is in the center of that digital display, but also on the right side of that digital display as well. So really it is completely customizable. That is why I absolutely love this digital gauge cluster. It's one of the best in my personal opinion. But let's now go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. There is a panoramic sunroof coming with the Limited that is going to be optional on the SEL Plus trim level, letting in so much more light for this video, so I'm appreciative. LED interior lighting coming with the Limited, again optional on the SEL and SEL Plus. Auto dimming rear view mirror with HomeLink controls coming standard on the SEL Plus trim level and Limited. Love that feature. Wireless phone charger coming with the SEL Plus trim level and up. Again, that's located just in front of the drive button, so you don't have to plug your phone in. It's going to automatically charge, assuming that your phone is compatible, of course. Ambient lighting with 64 different color choices coming with the Limited trim level only. I would have loved to have seen that on the SEL Plus, but we do have it here today, and that's pretty stinking cool too. Dual zone climate control with the SEL trim level and up. You'll find aluminum foot pedals on the SEL Plus trim level only. I have that, and I absolutely love it, actually. It's a pretty cool look down there. Anyways, when it comes to overall interior quality, whenever I look up or read certain reviews on the Sonata, it's really a mixed bag. But in my personal opinion, I definitely tend to think it is among the best. And there's several reasons for that. One of them is the air vents. The air vents are very sleek, a very nice design to them, and that's pretty cool. And also there's going to be aluminum finishes to the exterior portion of those air vents, where usually you find a continuation of the black plastic. So that's a little bit different than you see in other vehicles as well. But typically where you find the most hard plastics in vehicles are going to be just around the shifter and the cup holders. And with the Sonata though, it's a nice smooth gloss black finish around the shifter, or the shift buttons I should say. And then there is a nice gray kind of diamond pattern design around the cup holders, where typically other manufacturers will leave that just a flat gray and it's going to be boring. So that's the reason why I believe the Sonata is a little bit above average when it comes to interior quality, at least. And you do have some nice leather finishes on the doors as well, at least in our Limited trim level. You're not going to get that in the other trims, but I do like that as well. Nice aluminum trim found on the doors that continues just above the passenger side glove box and below the infotainment screen as well. Also some nice gloss black finishes around the climate control settings. There's a 12-volt power outlet in front of the shift buttons, USB charging ports ×2. Again, that wireless phone charger. There's an electromechanical parking brake found by the driver's side left knee. Dual cup holders, a little slot to put yourself in when you're not charging it up front within those cup holders. And within the center armrest, there's a decent amount of storage in there as well. So overall, I actually really like the interior quality of the Sonata, so no issues for me whatsoever there. But now, let's make our way to the tech screen, which is going to differ again amongst the trim levels. 8-inch color touchscreen display coming with the SE, SEL, and SEL Plus trim levels. However, if you were to go with that Limited trim, you will get a 10.25-inch color touchscreen display. That's going to be optional, by the way, on the SEL Plus, but either way, you still get Bluetooth and audio streaming. You still get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. There's going to be a factory navigation system for the 10.25-inch screen only. Also an ambient sound feature, which is stinking cool for the 10.25-inch screen only. Once again, I'll let you guys hear that in a second here, but essentially there you get to choose from different sounds like lively forest, as we are in right now, calm sea waves, rainy day, open air cafe, warm fireplace, and snowy village. So without further ado, I'm actually going to let you guys listen to those sounds because I think it's stinking cool. So go ahead and take a listen, and I'll be back in a couple seconds here. And so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's just a feature that you don't usually see on other manufacturers, so I wanted to really point that out to you. But anyways, also there is a voice memo feature that you could check out on that screen up there. There's also your weather information as well. It's pretty cool. And of course, your radio settings as expected. And so, by the way, when it comes to the sound system of the Sonata, it is going to differ once again. 6 speakers are going to come with all trim levels but the Limited. That Limited trim level that we have today, that is going to give you a 12-speaker Bose sound system that is going to be optional on the SEL Plus and SEL as well. So Having said that, you guys, I think you guys know what we have to do next. Let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this Bose sound system we have in our limited trim level today. I couldn't stop listening to it. It's absolutely amazing. It really is, honestly, a night and day difference between the 6-speaker to the 12-speaker sound system, because I have the 6-speaker in my SEL Plus. There's actually a decent amount of bass with that particular 6-speaker sound system on the Sonata, but this 12-speaker, it's just a completely different level. It's definitely a sound system I would recommend. If you can afford the limited trim level and you like music, definitely go with that one. But anyways, last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on that text screen at least is when you do put the Sonata in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. Every single trim level is going to get that. But if you were to go with the limited that we have today, you will also get a surround view monitor, so a bird's eye view, so you can see every single angle around you, which as always is going to lead us into safety. And so first thing I wanted to mention when it comes to the Sonata, of course, this is an IIHS top safety pick. So that's really a heck of a start to begin with. Front side curtain airbags do come standard. Driver's side knee airbag as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. Rear child door locks back there as well. Tire pressure monitoring system. That's all pretty boring at this point. But some of the more exciting advanced safety features that do indeed come standard across the board will include forward collision avoidance assist with pedestrian detection, lane keep assist, lane following assist, driver attention warning system, adaptive cruise control with stop and go. There's rear occupant alert and high beam assist as well. And all of these features are super cool. The adaptive cruise control system is amazing on this thing. High beam assist is super convenient as well. This is my first car that I've ever had that had that. That's pretty cool. Lane keep assist is one of the best systems when it comes to all Hyundais, really, comparatively speaking to a lot of the other manufacturers out there. So wanted to mention that too. After driving 500 and some different cars, I wanted to tell you guys that. SEL trim level and up is going to, in addition to that, add a blind spot monitor with rear cross traffic alert, as well as safe exit warning too. And then the limited trim level and up is going to add parking collision avoidance assist, blind spot view monitor, which is where it actually shows you what is in your blind spot within that digital gauge cluster. That's a pretty cool feature. And highway drive assist as well, which essentially is Hyundai's level 2 autonomous driving on the highway. So that's pretty cool too. But so overall, when it comes to my final thoughts of the Sonata, I will say the new 19-inch wheel design, although we didn't have it today, it's a pretty cool look to the SEL Plus. I would imagine that the trade-off with that though, with it being a larger wheel size, is you're not going to have quite as good as ride quality as the 2020 model year, or this particular wheel setup I should say. But let me just cut right to it. The reason I bought my 2020 Hyundai Sonata is because you get a heck of a lot for your money when comparing it to the competitors in the class. For example, the digital gauges, that's something you don't usually get on other manufacturers. Even to this day, the Honda Accord doesn't have it. It has a partial digital gauge setup. Toyota Camry doesn't have it. So I love the digital gauges on the Sonata. Wireless phone chargers a plus. You get great styling. You get a digital key, which you don't get with the competition as well. So, and I've used that before. It's definitely pretty darn cool if you don't want to lug around your keys all day. So I like that feature. Of course, you have America's best warranty. So if you're questioning the reliability of the direct injected turbocharged engine we have here, you get it warranted for 10 years. And by that time, you're probably going to want a new car anyway. So that's what I love about this thing. Even if you don't 100% trust the reliability quite yet, you can trust the warranty at least. So that's pretty cool too. 3 years free maintenance, 5 years free roadside assistance. That is pretty cool. If you were to, I don't know, get a flat tire or something, you didn't know how to change it yourself. I don't know. Also, at the time of this video, you do have 0% financing for 72 months as well. So there's definitely a lot of perks got going on right now here for the Sonata. As far as room for improvement goes, there's only one room for improvement I can think of that I wish Hyundai would put on the Sonata, and that is an available all-wheel drive system. Other manufacturers are doing it, like the Camry, like the Nissan Altima, like the new Kia K5, which essentially is the brother or sister company to Hyundai. I'm really surprised that Hyundai hasn't put an available all-wheel drive system on the Sonata quite yet, just because the Kia K5 now has it available. So maybe in the future it's coming, I don't know. But that is about it for this one, you guys. Hope you got some valuable information out of this video. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there if you like. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. That is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.